Welcome to Sanity Lounge. Daphne London has taken the Baltimore comedy music scene by the balls. The self-described half-Asian man-eater has honed her one-woman act into a bona fide hilarious musical delight. Join us in this fun interview and gut-busting performance with one of Baltimore's brightest young comedians.
Welcome, Baltimore, to another episode of Sanity Lounge. We have another amazing guest in here that came on, that Tommy, one of our two-time guests now, I discovered through Tommy, just through following Tommy, and now I stalk your Instagram, admittedly, and I watch your reels.
Cool.
And I love your comedy. So we have Daphne London
Nice.
in the studio.
Yeah, this was
welcome.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is a wonderful setup. You guys seem nerdy and cool and all the great stuff. You got a beard. Yep. You got your own stuff.
Right. Yeah, well, it was a pleasure to listen to you. It was fucking hilarious.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Everybody stick around at the end of the episode and they'll see the performance of Daphne.
Yes.
So what's the genesis of your, like, the history to the instrument? Were you always a guitar player?
Was I always a guitar player? I think I probably middle school. Whenever you get horny for guys, I think there was like, I guess I'm kind of a tomboy, and I was like, how do I charm these guys? And then I realized you don't need to do much, so I just learned an instrument for no reason, apparently.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I was in a couple bands when I was younger. And my mother's a musician, and so she kind of taught me basics, and that's kind of what I stick to, just basic stuff. And yeah, it's just I've been doing comedy for like 7 years or 8 years now, so it's but I've always been playing music, very attracted to music. I think that's a wonderful art form, so big on music a lot.
So I heard you before say you were in a band.
I was in a band, yes.
Called?
The Lost Tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were locally famous.
Yeah.
In Frederick, Maryland.
Nice.
That was a good scene there when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Actually, like one of our first big shows was at the Auto Bar.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Nice.
So were you guitar in that band?
I was just the front woman.
You were the front woman of the band.
Yes, I was.
So you mean I'm assuming you can find this music.
You can. Unfortunately, it's there somewhere. But I switched out. One of my dear friends ended up taking over for me because I was out of the band, and then I ended up just doing. It was kind of funny. How musical comedy came about in my life. So we would do acoustic shows, and when I would do acoustic shows, I would always have like a little separate spot where I would write like an inside joke song. Mm-hmm. And then it was this weird thing where whenever I was doing a show, like an acoustic set by myself of the band stuff, they would always, for whatever reason, the font of my name would be like Comic Sans. Like all the other girls would have this like elegant, beautiful, and I was like, I guess I'm just the goofy guy now. Just I'm known for doing goofy stuff. So yeah. So I think like the first funny song was called DTF, Downtown Frederick. So yeah,
Nice.
So it was all about DTF. Yeah.
So let's start back at the beginning here real quick. When you were a child, did you dream of...
I'm sorry, three balls keeps popping in the...
We're going to get to it.
Up.
I have that. I've got like 6 questions about the Three Balls song, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, at the end of you'll understand.
Yeah.
But back at the beginning, like when you were a kid, did you, was comedian your goal?
Was comedian my goal?
What led you to
Did you watch comedians?
I don't know how you get somewhere, honestly. It's just the journey. So I'm still on that journey.
Yeah.
I love comedy. I am I got a little bit of the tism, so I get a little bit, kind of nerd-y about stuff.
Sure.
Definitely comedy. I obsess about certain comedians and all that. So, when I first started doing comedy, just straight up stand up, I was like not good. And so, which nobody is good in the beginning. One of my mentors, she's an 81-year-old lady.
Nice.
In Harrisburg. Her name's Joan Benson. She is the filthiest lady I've ever met. She has great jokes about fucking mermaids. She was the coolest chick. And you know what? I think I went to an open mic, had one time that I had my guitar, and she's like, and it was just very different. I did the Shits on Me song. It was great. And she's like, honey, you got to do that. And I was like, okay, that's it. And then like from then on, I've been doing that. So yeah, that's
that's great.
How old are you? If you don't, okay. So what's the first?
Okay, let's take a
You
guess.
What's the
you
first
could say
movie
that you're
you-
young enough.
What's
that
the
it's not
first movie
insulting.
you saw in the movie theater?
The first movie I saw in the movie theater.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh wow, that's hard. I don't know if I can't remember what
I'm
it was.
trying to gauge your age
I mean, you
without
could-
being
That's a good
insulting.
I'm 37, so
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm in.
No,
the
I would have
30s.
definitely said you could be in your 20s.
I thought you were 28.
I still get
mean,
carded, so
yeah,
I'm happy with
yeah.
that.
Sure,
It's-
sure. Okay. Well, wait. So, what was the point of that question? I asked that question for a point.
You wanted the genesis of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what age were you when you met this lady, your mentor?
Oh,
yeah,
so
that
like
makes
8
sense.
years ago is when I met Joan Benson. I mean, I started at the
Do it.
Harrisburg Comedy Zone.
29.
Yeah,
Look, I'm sitting there going.
I saw him look up. Like, I don't know.
So you started comedy at 29, basically?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
that-
really,
wow.
right,
Okay.
right around 30. Yeah, it was a fun time starting comedy.
I mean,
when
you
I did.
remember your very first time getting up there?
So
you were always like, you were already a front woman, so it couldn't have been that foreign to you.
Yes, exactly. I think it was just, I was on this role of also I just try to do new things all the time. So, in the last, 8 years, I've started skateboarding and snowboarding and, I was painting for a while. So I just like love doing new stuff. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
again,
yeah.
that's like little ADHD in me. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, just being creative. I think I would just call myself a creator. So I love being creative. And the first time I went up, it was not good. But I had a really great community of comedians. And they're still there in Harrisburg, and they're pretty cool people. So they're my homies for life, for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. And you met this mentor lady just on a whim, like she hangs at the local comedy clubs
she
and stuff?
is. I don't know if she's still alive, truthfully.
Right,
but,
sure.
But yeah, she's I just met her at the comedy club, and she's like just one of the coolest older ladies. I think she runs a children's theater, and then on Thursdays open mic she would show up and tell filthy jokes on stage. It was great. So
That's
having her
hilarious.
Yeah, that's
having
awesome.
someone like that around you was really cool. So yeah. Everybody needs one of those, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And especially somebody older who's got a little bit of wisdom, even if it's locally, it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
My situation's the opposite. So I'm 49. I'll be 50 in September, but my
You look
mentor-
great.
Yeah,
my
congratulations.
Thank you. It's my mother's genes. But my mentor is like 24, I think. He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this British sculptor that I work with. Like all this stuff is we do. We
Yeah,
do all
those
this
are
stuff.
terrific. I was saying that's intense, very intense.
I can relate to when you said you just like making things and doing things.
Yeah.
That's how I am. But
Isn't that such a cool thing to do?
It is, but I can get real chaotic real quick.
Oh,
like
no.
I'm learning how to get organized right now, and it's
Good,
very
good,
difficult.
good.
Like
Yeah.
I clean my whole studio, and I'm like, awesome. Now I can just make something, and I like turn around, do like a rotation, and then it's just a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still work in it.
His
I like
garage
it.
is like a mad scientist studio. like
no.
When you go out to it.
They
But
have technology now that helps with a
I
lot of that.
know. I just learned how to. I made a spreadsheet of projects that I'm working on.
That's funny. So when you
Oh,
did
it's so
your
hard.
first night of stand up, it was musical stand up from
No,
the
it was
get-go.
it was regular stand up.
Ah,
yeah, and
okay.
it was mostly like because I'm half Asian, so I was doing a lot of Asian stuff
Gotcha.
straight off the bat.
Right.
This is easy stuff, like.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Right,
it's just
right.
too easy, like why are Asian drivers so bad and stuff like that, and
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit more highbrow now. I'm
Right.
just gonna lie, but no, I kind of after talking to Joan and like other people too, they were like, yeah, that's her thing, and now it's just everybody knows it's my thing that I do musical comedy. So I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm much more confident in myself when I have a guitar with me.
It's funny because now you're the second musical comedian. As you know, we had Bussy on, but
Love
they
the
were
Bussy
talking about like how like with musical comedy, like if it's not working, you can't stop. You just got to you
Keep
got to
it.
keep going. You can't just be like, well, let me change it up, like because you're in it.
In it,
Right.
In it to win it.
Yeah.
for
At
sure.
the end of the day, it's like it at least has to be a tolerable song as a structure. You know what I mean? And that way, even if the audience isn't laughing, it's still a song. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But it's got to be tough if they're not biting. You know, I mean.
Yeah, I think for me, there's just like regular comedy. You go through those situations where you bomb really bad. So, there's so many times I've been in the middle. I cannot tell you the amount of times just the microphone falling during while you're playing is the worst. Worse than someone heckling or a bad reaction.
Right.
Sometimes just like because I'm handsless, I'm like I have my guitar, so then I'm just singing out into the ether and it gets all weird. I guess that's why musicians, they have all these people helping them all the time to make sure that never happens. So as a musical stand-up, it's a little bit more risque, a little bit more chaotic sometimes.
So I'm a drummer, and when I don't sing a lot, but occasionally I have to sing, and so at least 3 times a year I'll bring the mic over and we start the fucking song.
Yeah,
and this son of a bitch, like a limp dick, just goes zoom,
yes.
and I'm playing and trying to
what do
sing.
you do? Yeah.
And I'm on stage. It's like, what the fuck do I do? So you start doing the one hand. I'm going like, and then everybody's looking at me. But I mean, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
and
it's awful.
And it's got to be awful.
Feel.
Like, at least I'm behind the set. Like,
Not everybody's necessarily paying attention.
Well,
even
right.
though
It's
you're
like
singing the song.
Yeah.
I can make it work, but it's like to be out front like that.
They're just like, are you going to pick that up?
Right.
Also, you cannot even imagine the amount of comedy clubs where the only thing that they have to have at the comedy club is a sturdy microphone stand, and they don't have it. It's unbelievable.
You got to make it into a bit. Like, you ought to write
I don't even understand what is going on.
Speaking of that, that's a good. I don't know if somebody told me this, but have you written a song from the perspective of Jolene, or do you just want to?
I wrote a song from the perspective of Dolly.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
Not Jolene.
Dolly, yeah.
Okay, we'll go in.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I think I have the lyrics somewhere. It's like, Dolly, 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 your husband isn't even pick up the seat when he pees. Just like shitting on her husband.
Right.
I don't want this guy.
I don't want this dude. He's like,
fuck off with this guy.
He's attacking me.
Yeah. He's like, he's approaching me at the
bar.
bar. Yeah. It's pretty much.
So you do have the
Yes,
song.
I do have the song. I'm still working on it, but it does end with a love-making scene between Dolly and Jolene. So
Nice.
yeah, eventually.
That's a great
it'll be on
concept.
Netflix.
No, I love that concept.
Yeah. It's a great song. Yeah.
It's
somewhere there in the making. I have a lot of those. I have a lot of like concepts that just kind of like come up, and then I'll write something down. Then I don't know where they go. So someday, maybe I should bring a band in.
Yeah. Writing. I mean, I don't know. Writing lyrics is hard enough, and then making them funny, I feel like, is much harder.
It's got to be obnoxious. It's got to be an obnoxious process.
It's a little difficult because
this is a cool song. Now, how do I just make it like?
I mean, do you bounce it off your people, or like who?
I mean, I think it's just like comedy. You have to do it on stage enough times to see if it works, and a lot of times you just have to work it. It won't work the first couple times, or like the 3-ball song from where it is now to where it began, very different song concept and everything.
It's also your delivery.
Yes,
we have a lot of questions.
You're singing, but you're just telling the story.
Yeah.
Like that song.
First of all, let me paint the picture here. Woe Davis and I go way back, and I know when he is like dangerously close to fainting laughter, and it came close, and we were in here, and so my question about the 3 balls song, I wrote it down here. Let's see.
It's the lyric that's one too many.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's too many balls.
Well,
too many balls.
The 3 balls is that story real?
No, that's what I was going to say.
Is the story real?
Is that a real story?
And is that science sound? Like, is that real?
Yes, polyorchidism.
We know
is a
people with 1 ball.
Yeah. Okay. I just.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. Long story. Let's not get into that.
But I don't know anyone with 3 balls.
Right.
Yeah. Polyorchidism is a real
orchid.
Orchidism, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did date a guy. I don't know if he actually had it or he was just trying to, I don't know, it was a first date, you know what I mean?
No, I did.
I got 3 balls, and you're like,
so was that like, he's like, this is going to work. This is going to work out. I'm going to tell her this, and it's over.
No, it ended really badly. That day was not good.
What the fuck kind of story is that? Like, what is...
And then the idea that it came alive. It is wonderful. But that being said, he almost fainted.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a great
It's
one.
going to have Will was probably pissed off.
They were
about
all great
mix.
songs.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Thank
they
you.
were all
Thank you.
done.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because If I Had a Dick is like your slogan now. You
Yeah,
have that on
yeah.
merch. You have some nice
that's
merch.
my If I Had a Dick. I love that one because it's on my merch now. I mean, the amount of women that have shirts that say "If I Had a Dick," I love that. It's priceless.
There's
That's
gonna be
awesome.
more. There's gonna be more.
I know.
It's if that's your tagline, that's
Yeah,
fucking great.
It's a great question to put out there for for people to think about what it would be like for women to have a dick. I mean, I guess
Sure.
you guys have dicks. So you
Though,
can also think of it for yourselves.
you're
as well.
thinking ahead. It's concepts.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's good conceptually, you know.
I guess.
Yeah, it's like
I
one of
love-
those looks like he's in such deep thought. He's going.
No, I love that my comedy is great because I'm just being funny and goofy, but
Right.
at the same time I'm very protective. Like nobody really gets to know me that well, so
Sure,
it's like great.
sure.
Whereas like other comedians, you really get to like know who they are, and I'm still not quite there yet. Maybe I'll never be there. I don't know, because it's for females in any kind of entertainment space. It's kind of dangerous sometimes if you put too much out
Yeah, I
there.
bet. Especially in the comedy world, because you're up there by yourself. If you do go on the road, as it were, it's you.
Yeah, just me.
And if somebody's watching and they really like you or they don't like you, you're walking off that stage without security.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to kind of ask. Like, what's the crazy? You've had to have had some crazy moments.
Oh, so
like
many.
probably too many to even talk about. But
like
there's-
just in general, I mean, like this last year was I had a guy working for me who ended up stalking me. That was
Really?
really, I had to get a restraining order. So that
and he
was
was working for you.
yeah, like he was like, hey,
It
I can help
started
you.
good.
He like started great, and then
Right.
he went cuckoo. I mean, like I didn't know he had bipolar disorder. It just
Right.
like went off the rails. Like,
You didn't
too
do
much.
a background check.
No. He was like a friend, I guess a friend. And then my one friend who's friends with him, he's like, hey, I went over to his place. He has pictures of you everywhere. And I was like, oh no, shit. Like, so you know what I mean? Like you have to kind of. So for guys, it's different. You
Right.
know, like
Sure.
I'm sure, like if you found out that he had a bunch of pictures of you, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Well, I think it would.
Well, no. Yeah, I don't know.
No, you
that'd
like
be
it?
weird.
See, that's what I mean. For guys, it doesn't
I mean,
really
I guess
matter.
I wouldn't really tell him to take him down, but
I'd just be like, what the fuck,
What's going
dude?
on, dude?
Like, right? I'd be like, what's the
Be
score
like,
here,
I'm
man?
just trying to get to know you.
Yeah,
Right, well, wouldn't
yeah,
be,
guys
babe?
are
Be
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you could be
Yeah, it's a
flat.
little-
Like,
it's a little-
I guess you're saying like a guy might be flattered, but a girl's like, "What the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?" You're like,
Yeah, well, that's creepy.
That's crazy.
It's
Yeah, a little bit.
It's too much.
So that was a guy working for you.
He was for a little bit. I had to fire him. That
What
was a
about
little-
what about the audience? Has anybody rushed?
I mean, I've had like a lot of. Oh yeah, I mean, so like the shits on me song. I had a drunk guy stand up, and he's like, "I'd let you shit on
Right.
me," like stuff like that.
God.
I'm trying to think. I had a song where I was like talking about Biden or something, and a guy was like, fuck Biden, and I was like, this guy wants to fuck Biden, and like
Oh,
so
nice.
like
And
you
the
have
whole
to
place-
really you have to take your
Yeah,
moments
yeah.
and really kind
Right.
of
Well, you just did you? I think I did just see a video you like kick somebody out.
Okay,
recently.
so this is a strange thing. In the last, I don't know what is going on. I'm not like a hippy dippy type of girl, but
Sure.
something in the last couple months, people, I mean, maybe just like more. I've done 3 shows where people had to get kicked out,
Right.
And it wasn't like male male and female,
right.
Right.
So I don't know. People just having a good time, just getting really loose.
Yeah.
So that guy at that last show, I don't know. Maybe it's something where, and it was as soon as I walked on stage.
Right.
This guy was too drunk. He sat up from his seat, and the thing is, I was the last one to go on. The other comedians were just kind of like quiet. He kind of spoke up, and since I'm the last one, he's probably been drinking the whole time, and he's
right.
totally
Right.
wasted. Poor thing, his son, who was like in his 20s, there's a group of girls in their 20s sitting right next to him, and he gets up and he grabs them.
Right.
And so as I get on stage, I'm like, hey, we're gonna have a good time. I instantly see this drunk guy grab these 3 girls, and then I look at their face and I see they're like, oh my God, this guy is like touching us. And I was like, dude, you gotta get the fuck out right now.
Right.
Like, bye.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
That's
And
exactly
so like
what
it's like it
happened.
goes from here to like here, and then I'm like, okay, well now we're gonna have to, I have to run a little bit faster sure to get you guys back in a happy mood. So
Right.
yeah, so sometimes that happens. Yeah, and
I
then
only saw that part.
Yeah.
Somebody only posted that part.
yeah, it's. Yeah, but in the end, I actually crushed, so it's whatever.
Nice,
So
nice.
I did a great job.
What about the opposite? Like, what are some of the favorites? Like, what are
Favorite like great moments?
Yeah.
Great moments that I've had. I don't know. I've done. I did a hosting gig for a cabaret show, Savage Cabaret. Shout out to Jed in PA in Lancaster. He is the coolest guy. I host these cabaret shows and packed house, and people are just screaming, like throwing their bras on stage type of deal. It's just such a great time. I just love that when the vibe is so great. And then after the show, everyone's hitting on me, and I'm like, I did a great job.
So when it's a cabaret show, but you're doing your musical comedy
yeah, so like
stuff
I'm hosting,
and
like
you're
it's
hosting.
great. You get to see naked women, and I get to like tell my jokes. It's actually at first when I hosted the first one, I was kind of iffy on it because like hosting, you never want to host. As a comedian, you never want to be the host because it's kind of like it's a working job where you don't get to really express yourself. But then I had fun with it, and meeting, these amazing, creative people that, take their clothes off for a living. It's kind of, I can kind of commiserate with them.
Like, they were probably pretty loose with the
I've been
rules.
to burlesque shows.
Yeah. It's a burlesque
Similar.
show.
And so it's like audience is like part of the act. Like everybody has to like be active at burlesque shows. Like everybody's whistling and like catcalling and everything. Like getting,
it's fun. It's fun. I
a
love that
blast.
high energy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is because maybe I don't know what it is in the because like I said, I started with music. It's this thing where I find it more rare now because these younger generation, they don't know how to really. I feel like when you go to a music show, you just want to express yourself. Like you want to, and like you go to these newer shows where people are just standing there, and I'm like, what has happened?
Dude, my wife was talking about that the other day because she goes to shows and like it's even like this is my spot, and when I leave it better be here when I get back. And then they're just, but she loves to dance. She loves to get up front, and they're just like standing there, like you bump into them, and they're like looking at you.
Yeah, and you're like, well, get out of here, Like I want something about music, and I think it's the same way with comedy too. Sometimes where you just want to express yourself, like as an audience member. So I love that. So doing those cabaret shows are so much fun because people are just wild, mostly like younger, hot, horny women. And so like I'm bisexual, so that's great for me. It's a great ego boost for myself for sure.
It's probably a wild, long night. I mean, how late does that go?
Yeah, I think I was doing 2 shows. It wasn't done until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something like that. Yeah. Dance party afterwards. It's a great time. Love that stuff.
In Lancaster?
In Lancaster, yeah. So... it's a good time.
Cabaret show.
Yeah. The first one I did was at Mickey's Black Box, which is in Lidditz. I don't know if you guys know that spot, but
it's not the spot, but I know.
And I went to another one, the Village in Lancaster. Every Savage Cabaret is and Jed is the guy who runs it. And it's an awesome show that he puts on. It's fabulous. Love it. Had a what is it? Boylesque. Last one too, like a guy that does it, and he was great. I forgot his name, but he was really good too. You guys should get into it. It could help, views for the show. If you
right. We'll do our own burlesque night.
Boylesque,
right?
Yeah.
Boylesque. Whoa, Davis.
We're open for all kinds.
Yeah, try it out.
Like,
very wild, right?
See what new avenues the algorithm brings you down. To
I mean, it's art. I mean,
Sanity
we can have a
Lounge,
boylesque show right in here.
Right.
We have cameras. We have everything.
Our wheels going easy, gentlemen.
Get a little studio audience up there with them.
That's hilarious. Well, so who were your? A little off topic, but not really. Who growing up were your favorite comedians?
Okay, so favorite comedians. I watched a lot of comedy. My favorite of all time is Paul F. Tompkins.
Oh wow! Look
He's
at you,
probably,
smart.
His jokes still to this day. I laugh so hard. The Ghost Stromboli joke, his peanut brittle joke. It's just so like I just love like high sarcasm. But when it comes to musical comedy, I love the Smothers Brothers,
nice.
Stephen Lynch. That was really big when I was growing up with Stephen Lynch. He was the guy, which you don't hear about him much anymore. But of course, Weird Al.
Right,
and every autistic boy, 13-year-old boy loved friggin' Weird Al. So I heard a lot of that on the bus.
Let me ask you this: you're 37, I'm 48. Woes 49.
And
He's
Chris
there.
is like,
He's
Chris
right
is
there.
very old. But what was the first person you said? It was
Paul.
Paul F.
F.
Tompkins.
Tompkins.
Paul F.
What
Tompkins.
was your introduction to Paul F. Tompkins?
I can't remember. It might have been like on Comedy Central or something.
Okay,
like
'cause-
I watched Comedy Central, and I think it was one of his
Like a half hour.
one
So
of his half-hour specials.
Let me
and-
tell you, the very first time.
I don't know who that is.
So Paul F. Tompkins, I never saw
I
in
don't
my
think.
life, but when Bill Maher first went to Real Time,
Oh, he
like
was on there.
20 years ago, he opened the show.
Oh, cool.
Like for the first season, Paul F. Tompkins opened for whatever reason. Like he would come out and he would be like, all right, he would warm up the crowd. Then he would bring Bill out. Bill would do a monologue. Then he would tell jokes while the other guests come out. Like Paul F. Tompkins like hosted the Bill Maher show for the first
cool.
season.
I didn't know that.
And he was so smart. And like
Yeah,
I was
very-
like, holy shit, this guy's brilliant.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a falling out, but it just I think Maher he just didn't need he didn't he just didn't need him, I don't think. But after that I started following him and he was just smart. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
his
smart
specials
comedy.
are probably some of my favorite. And Tom Segura, I mean, I remember
Yeah, I love that
Tom Segura listening and watching one of his specials. Like, oh, I have a great Tom Segura story too. Yeah, I saw his special. I love comedy and I love going to see comedy. So like he was one of the first comedians I saw live that I was like, wow, he's so good. So good. There's
Yeah.
certain comedians that you see live and you're like, wow, they deserve to get paid lots of money.
Right, it's like
and then
an
there's
art
sometimes
form.
ones that you're like, wow, how come they get paid so much money, you know?
Right.
Like, it's just the crowd that they're building and, the fan base that they have is very devoted. But yeah, Tom Segura, Paul F. Tompkins.
You were going to say you went to see Segura.
I went to see Segura. I have a story about Segura. I went to go see him in Pittsburgh, and when I went to the show, Mike Tyson was there.
Oh shit.
And then it's so funny because he puts out his special, and then his closing bit is about Mike Tyson, his whole interaction with Mike Tyson, and I was like, I was
At
there.
that show.
It
Wow,
was
that's
at that
cool.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
but
fun.
also him. It was so funny because him talking about Mike Tyson, it was like you couldn't not know it was Mike. It was kind of like where you're sitting in the Pittsburgh Improv, and Mike Tyson rolls up with like 25 black dudes around him, like big dudes,
Right,
and we're like,
right.
oh, it's Mike Tyson.
Right,
Like
he's got
he was
an
not shy.
entourage.
Yeah.
Right,
He had a whole group of people around him, so it was kind of like, oh shit, Mike Tyson's here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that was a fun, and that was like probably earlier when I started doing comedy. I saw that, so yeah, it kind of stuff like that. Comedy is kind of cool because sometimes you're able to like touch, like get into like circles where you're just
It's a
like fun
smaller
thing.
world than
Yeah,
you
it's just
think.
like it is a small world, and it's a
Right.
lot of fun and a lot of funny people, super funny people. Yeah, Tommy and Eric, they're like the funniest guys. I'm so glad I get to do musical comedy, and I don't know how that happened by chance that I was doing I don't know. Maybe I inspired them a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, just them being around.
You did it first.
I think I definitely did
Yeah.
it first, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they were,
Right.
They could be just the waves were moving through the space at the same
Yeah.
time. But I know, because I know they're both great comedians alone.
Right. Yep.
Tommy, especially, I just saw him. I don't know. He was opening for Stavros not too long ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's amazing.
Yep.
I mean, underrated Baltimore comic for sure. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like he's a killer. And yeah, I just when they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this thing, I was like, I will be there. I'm your biggest supporter, like all for it. Like let's
It was
just be a gang
awesome.
gang.
It was.
And
it
who was
great.
it? It was a night of comedy, musical comedy. It was you guys. It was you,
Oh, the
Bussy, and
the second Mike Quinlan's second.
yeah, we did Quinlan's.
Saturday
We've done
shit,
Quinlan's
shit show.
Yeah, we done that
That's
show.
an auto bar.
We have I've done that show. It's Grief Cat, Lucas Craig, Bussy, Boys, and
Yeah.
me. So it's all less fun little musical comedians all
Yeah.
together. It's a great
Who's
little
what?
family.
well, I was gonna say, Grief Cat. Is that the two ladies?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, we want to get them on.
Annie and
too.
Louisa. Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Much better than me. Like, and they can sing the greatest harmonies, man, like hands down. Like, and they're the sweetest girls.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
super talented, super sweet.
We were just at the auto bar Saturday,
Oh,
and
cool.
Justin was doing this Mike's shit
Oh,
show.
yeah.
And we were downstairs seeing a band, and Justin rolled in to do a comedy set. We didn't know he was going to be there. We just saw the sign.
Nice, yeah.
But I didn't get to talk to him because he was running up the steps, and I yelled his name, and he never turned around.
He's the kind of guy where he's like always going somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, he's like the kind of guy. He's like, oh, this is great talk, and I'm gonna he's
Right.
like moving somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to his the senator for his
Oh, yeah,
scary
I saw
show.
that. That's pretty
gonna be
cool.
The tickets were $4.95. $4.95.
$4.98.
$4.98 for the
Really?
ticket.
Yeah, because he wanted it to be under $5.
Yeah.
That's kind of insane.
You know, it's showing on the big screen.
Yeah, that
you know,
was-
and he's
yeah.
going to have a Q&A after.
I mean, that's cool. That is really cool.
It is
Good for
cool.
him.
You know,
That's awesome.
downtown stuff. you
Yeah,
know.
he did that. Yeah, he did that. He recorded that the night after. I think the night after he did our show.
Sanity Lounge.
The night
Maybe it was
after,
very
yeah.
close. I know
Yeah.
that because we were
Yeah,
talking
I've been
about
waiting
it.
to see. I've been looking forward to seeing that.
That's
Yeah,
the
he's
one
hilarious,
thing
too.
that apparently I didn't realize till the last 2 years starting to do this show is the comedy scene in Baltimore is
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
It
Oh
really
yeah,
is.
it's amazing. I think it's really getting hot too.
It
Like,
is.
in the last couple years.
It's great.
You can feel it. Like
It's really there's really
Like, do you
cool-
do the port?
I do the port, yeah. Occasion. I mean, it's been a minute. I do have a show coming up at the port.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what date it is. I should look that up.
Yeah, because we'll lead into that. Well, I mean, we'll talk to you about that after, but we have a calendar. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I told you. I may have told you about that. Maybe not in our messages, but we have an event calendar. So
Oh,
we
cool.
put everything on there. Like we put
Nice.
most of these events, music events, anything. We have sponsors. Or not sponsors, supporters like Guilford Hall, where we're going to be putting on stuff there, which
Cool,
comedy
cool.
shows could definitely be.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll
Part
end
of
up
that.
having
Yeah,
a
yeah.
comedy night, Guilford Hall.
But lately,
Sanity Lounge
the
style.
port, lately, Stavi's just been showing up there to do
Yeah,
like
that's
last
pretty-
minute shows at the
Yeah,
port. I
that
don't know how
was-
many people it holds. How many people does it hold?
I don't know, like I don't
It's
know.
not a lot.
60?
I was saying,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big.
yeah,
but
like I'm sitting on my couch and he like puts it on Instagram. I'm like,
You're like,
why
I
can't
can't
I
get there
just
now.
be walking by the port one day and it's like,
Right.
oh, Stavros is
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
in there.
yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I have to say, the last time I saw Stavros, I went to Bert Kreischer's Fully Unloaded at Merriweather.
Yep.
nice.
Bert Kreischer, not as good as Stavros.
Right.
Like
Nice.
the top
That's
comedians
yeah, yeah.
were Soder and Stavros,
Yeah.
like for
That's
sure.
great.
And
Nice.
that's, to me, that makes me feel really good.
Yes.
Yeah, because
100%.
Soder's not. He's East Coast, right? Isn't Dan Soder like he?
No,
I
he
think he's New
started
York.
on the West Coast, but he lives
Is
in
that
New York.
right?
Yeah, he lives in New York.
Okay.
See, again, I'm a little nerd now.
Right,
now,
yeah,
but,
it's nice.
but yeah, like to see that show and just to see the level, because, you know, they're all getting paid lots of money.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a Merriweather and it was packed. You know, people are on the lawn. And just to see him crush,
Yeah.
yet even with his crowd work, you know, just the front couple, I was like, man,
Yeah,
this
that's
guy
awesome.
is so
That's so
good.
cool.
And yeah,
That's
I know he
wonderful.
started in Baltimore like forever ago. So it's just that, like I said, and that kind of makes sense, right? So like I started comedy in Pennsylvania, and the place that I started, the Harrisburg Comedy Zone, is actually where Shane Gillis started.
Wow.
So like all of his homies are the people that are pretty much still there who I started comedy with, and they're super funny, you know,
Right.
like it's kind of like when you start comedy, maybe the same way with musicians, you have that community, and just to see one of your own kind of make it big is just the most awesome thing to see. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it helps
it's
the
cool.
area pop. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah. Yeah,
area, It, like I said, until the last 2 years, it just didn't dawn on me how many killers are technically in Baltimore.
Yeah,
you know?
a lot. Really
It's like
good.
Magoobies is here. That's a great, it's getting national acts. Port's getting national acts all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the Baltimore Comedy Club still around?
Are you talking about big?
I don't know.
You're talking about the Comedy Factory or whatever?
Yeah, it was like Baltimore
don't
Comedy
think
Factory.
so.
The
Yeah,
only
or
ones
somewhere.
that I know are Magoobies and the Port, and then yeah, that's
Nice.
pretty much it. I mean, the Port is nice because it's, you know, Baltimore. Magoobies is a little out there. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
so-
right. I technically right. It's on the edge. It's Lutherville or
Yeah.
You know.
What do you mean? Oh, out there from the city, you mean?
Yeah. So it's like people in Baltimore still have their drive-aways, where it's like the Port, like you said, you could just be walking by and Stavros is going to stop in, and
Right,
you're like, what
right,
the
right,
fuck? That's awesome, you know?
So where? I mean, I get. Well, Autobar does.
Yeah, and then
Comedy.
Quinlan, of course, who's the most amazing man doing these shows.
I want to get that guy in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you need to
I
get
like
Quinlan
my
here for
Quinlan.
sure.
Yeah, like,
he has
I-
great stories.
Yeah.
And I love Quinlan because you know what's so funny about that guy? He also is the nicest guy ever. When I first met him, like after maybe a few weeks, he's like, I'm quitting comedy forever. And I don't know, that was like 6 years ago. He's always like, I'm quitting comedy.
Yeah.
And then I realized and then I was like, is Quinlan quitting comedy? They're like, no, he just says that.
That's
like,
his thing.
It's his
Right.
thing.
He wasn't at all of them. I think he was at a few of the Schaefer variety
Yeah,
shows.
that's where
Yeah.
I met him briefly.
Yeah, I think I may have talked to him, but my wife got to know him real well when they cleared the brush out of Chris's neighbor's backyard. Like
right.
he was one of the dudes down there helping out, and him and Amanda like just got to talk.
Nice.
But yeah, he's doing cool stuff. But yeah, he's definitely on.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
He seems like he's
Love Mike
rocking
Quinlan.
around.
Yeah, so I actually think I did not the variety show, but I did do Quinlan's funny, like his show that he had at Schaefer's place a while ago. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So where do you mostly perform?
Pretty much Maryland, DC, Virginia, PA. Like
And how often?
all the time.
This is, I mean,
Like how often am I
this
performing?
This is what you do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my other job is I'm a skateboard instructor. So
What the fuck
Yeah, so
are you talking
my
about?
day
So when
job-
did you pick up? I mean, you mentioned earlier that you just got into skateboarding. When
Well,
did you
I got
do
into
that?
skateboarding. I used to teach snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got into skateboarding during the pandemic, and then
And now you're a teacher.
and now I'm a skateboarding instructor. Yes, yeah.
That is
At
wonderful.
Bethesda Boards, and Carrie is my boss. My boss plays an amazing. We're actually trying to turn my the place where I teach skateboarding. We're still going to be a skateboard shop, but also a venue space in Bethesda. It's called Bethesda Boards. The venue is going to be called The Alley. We haven't opened up yet, but yeah, I'm going to be running comedy when it starts there.
Nice.
But it's a really cool spot. So you guys are welcome to come.
No,
and jam.
I'll
that's
be happy to
wonderful.
go to
Trust
me,
Bethesda
he'll-
for that.
Yes.
But otherwise, I'm never going to Bethesda again.
What happened in Bethesda?
Oh, nothing. I quit my job to like focus on this stuff full
Oh, hell
time.
yeah.
And
Fuck yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons because I have to drive to fucking Bethesda.
Yeah.
Every
That's a
fucking
horrible.
week.
Yeah.
Or Alexandria, or McLean, or Chevy Chase, and I live in Middle River.
So once the
that's a
bridge
drag.
went down,
Yeah.
it made
Oh
his
my gosh,
commute-
the hell.
Yeah.
I'm sure. That's the thing.
Now,
about
not
it.
that
Yeah,
you know,
like-
it was a tragedy, but
It's
you
been
know,
the bane
it's-
of my existence. Time is
Oh,
my
yeah, I
enemy
believe it.
with a lot of things, and I quit my job.
Well,
but it's a
And
good.
I'm not looking
It's
back.
a leap of faith.
Yes,
It is.
I understand
The
that.
show's cool. We have fun doing
Yes,
it. We
you
have
guys-
a lot. We get to meet a lot of cool people like you.
Heck yeah.
and it's
Aw,
awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, it's
So
good stuff.
this is the focus. I'm just going to
Try
make
to
sure everybody in the city knows who we are.
Heck yeah.
And when people know who we are, they will know who you are.
Okay.
And they will know who Sweet Lita is. If you haven't heard of any of the people we've had on, they will. And that is
Right.
Yeah.
solely our goal.
That's awesome.
Because Baltimore has so much cool shit, like we all talked about. It's so,
Yes.
it's so fun. Like
I mean, I technically lived in Baltimore County for like 6
so do
years.
we.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, I lived in Ellicott City for a little bit, and then I also lived in Catonsville.
Yep.
So I guess it
Nice.
kind of counts as Baltimore.
Inside the Beltway.
My backyard was right.
He said inside.
Well,
the
you
building.
know what happens on each side, so.
I grew up in Catonsville.
Oh, okay.
But until I was 8, and then we moved to Carroll County, which
Oh, okay,
Umar
yeah.
called White Flight.
Yeah, you moved to the boonies, yeah, pretty much.
And then, then I got to meet Brian. We've known each other since '91.
Wow.
Yeah,
We're
if you
lifelong-
watch.
You guys should get
we're
married.
lifelong
I mean, it's
friends.
about time.
Oh,
I mean, if
Mark
something
Davis.
happens with our
Yeah,
wives,
if something
maybe.
happens,
yeah.
we'll probably just do it. But if you watch episode 1, we talk about ourselves a good bit, and it's good stuff.
Okay.
So we don't.
But what else?
Well, wait. So let me ask you this: what are your parental approval? Like, were your parents okay with you being a comedian? Or
No, probably not.
no, no.
My brother's a pastor, and my mom, still to this day, she's always saying that he's funnier than me.
Right.
Which is, I don't know
Like
how that
in
works.
Well, you
It
said,
was
"Are
like-
you being funny?"
His sermons, like it's
Well,
the
like-
little jokes he throws
Yeah, I
out
mean,
in his
like, yeah,
sermons.
you know, he's
She's
always
like,
trying
"See
to
that?"
slide in those jokes.
Right.
Right,
I
right.
did. It was funny though. He does. You know, you kind of do as a pastor. I guess you do have to make those little jokes. He did write a pretty. He did write me a BBC joke. When I went over to England and I did a
BBC.
Yeah, he like. So I was like, why is a pastor writing this joke for me? But yeah, he is a funny guy. He's a naturally goofy guy.
So, have they seen your shows? Have they been to them?
Yes. Should I give you the best or the worst?
Well, no. So my first question is that so you're insinuating that it's not, they weren't thrilled with your career choice.
Yeah, I think that they got their own stuff going on, and my mom's a YouTuber actually.
Is that right?
Yes. So
okay,
pretty cool vlogger.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And stuff.
She's a gardener.
She's a gardener.
Can you ask her questions?
No, I don't. I just eat the food. I just eat the food whenever it comes in, and I know it's organic. I'm vegan. I'm happy that she's using organic products.
Nice.
And but yeah, my mom used to be a singer. She was a pretty popular singer. She's a much better singer than me, and she would never sing anything that I'm singing probably. But yeah, my parents, were they supportive? I guess in their own way they are. They have come to my shows. I could tell you a really fun story that happened.
So let's do it.
So as I mentioned, I went to England and I did a show
right
in England, in Newcastle, and I didn't know what to expect. I brought that little guitar just so I could do the show, bring it overseas, and I could do this show in England.
So somebody called you and was like, hey.
No, I called them. I called the spot and I said, hey, I'm a stand-up. I'm, just shooting hey,
sure.
I'm a musical stand-up from America. Come. And so they said it was a Wednesday night. It's the night before I went on this trip to England with my parents. My dad's a tall white guy, very nerdy. He wanted to see Roman shit, and my mom just wanted to vlog for her YouTube channel, Yeah. So we're having fun or whatever the whole time, and then it comes the day before the show. We go to the spot. I just wanted to check it out. We're in Newcastle, and I didn't realize. I talked to the bartender there, and they're like, yeah, it's cheap seats, college night. It's gonna be sold out. It's 200 plus drunk, rowdy, British kids. Just,
oh God.
And I was like, and so I'm like, okay. I'm sort of hype. I'm like, I'll be fine.
What were you expecting?
well, British people are pretty proper. Right. So I'm thinking it's not going to be that rowdy, but it's called Red Raw. It's a great spot. And so
it's
I go there.
Soccer hooligans and
freaking,
shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And it's Northern England. So they're really,
Rawled
they're just,
up.
They're a lot of fun for sure.
Right.
And this is probably the first time my parents have seen me do comedy. They probably saw me the first couple weeks I started comedy, and they hadn't seen me in 5-6 years straight.
And you're in a foreign land.
Right, and I don't know how I'm gonna do. I go on stage, and I'm like, "Fuck you!" And everybody loved it. I had a great time. People are cheering. I even I did a big no. You're never supposed to go over your time. But then I did the "Love You" song, and I was I look over and I'm I was just on a roll, and I had all that adrenaline. I'm like, guys, I have to get off. Do you want me to get off? They're like, no. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to do one more. And I did the one more, and then I walk off stage, and it was fine. The host, he was such a nice guy. His name's Matt, and he's such a sweetie. And so get off stage. It was great. And then I go to the green room, and I'm sitting there with the other comedians, and they're impressed, and I was impressed with myself too. And then I see the manager walking to the green room, and I'm like, shit, they love me so much. They want me to come
They're
back.
about to book me right now.
So actually, my mom and my dad were in the audience, right? And my mom was drinking as soon as she got there, and she's kind of a lightweight. So what ended up happening is my mom got so drunk, she had to get kicked out. And so the management comes, and they're like, we just wanted to let you know your mother, she had to leave. She was a little bit too inebriated. She's upstairs. And so I'm like, oh no. I'm hyperventilating. I'm like, oh shit, what is going on? So I go, so this is a downstairs venue. You go up the stairs, and there's a bar right there. My mom, she has her wine bottle like this, and the wine is spilling out of it. And I'm like, Mom, they couldn't order, boomers, they couldn't freaking order an Uber back to the hotel. I'm like, guys, gotta go. And of course I go up there, and what is my mom doing? She's drunk with her, playing my set full volume. And this is the exit where everybody had to leave, right? So pretty much she got kicked out because she was videotaping the whole time.
Right.
And in a club, you're not supposed to do that.
Right.
And so they even had to ask her multiple times.
Right.
And she was like, that's my
She's
daughter.
like, I'm never fucking coming back. She's so drunk. She's like, I'm never fucking coming back here. I'm American. Do you even know who I am? I have a YouTube channel with, I was like, oh my
damn.
God.
Right, she was laying it down.
It was
right,
that bad.
Right.
And then like I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, Dad, well, come on. Like, why are you letting mom like? Anyways, so I call the Uber. They get out of there, and I'm like relieved. I go back downstairs, and so the headliner. I guess he's kind of like famous.
Mm-hmm.
He was on like Game of Thrones or whatever. But he also is a musical stand-up, and he was the headliner. Had a guitar, right? And then I'm talking to the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh, I just wanted to let you know your dad tried to rob me." And I was like,
shit.
"What?"
Yeah, like,
So my
what the
dad,
fuck
also
is going on?
drunk, thought my guitar was his guitar and tried to wrestle it from him. And I was like, "Oh my God,
That's incredible.
So like that
Your
was.
dad tried to rob me of my guitar.
So both those things ended up happening. I ended up staying late, having beers with them. They were like the sweetest,
Right.
nicest guys. So that was my time.
It's like European vacation. You're like the Griswolds
Yeah.
over there.
Oh, for sure. And then, this is the best part. Also, like, it's just an extra little delicacy on top of everything. So there was the last night we're in England. We had separate rooms most of the time. And then the last night we share a room. Me being vegan, I ordered a bunch of like vegan like snacks for my room. Got to the room. My dad had eaten everything. Olives, chip. I mean, it was, and then so I was like, whatever. So then I fall asleep, right? I wake up and all I can hear my dad, like he was shitting his brains out. I was like, oh my God. Like that was my night. That was my morning. And then I see my mom wake up and I'm like, Mom, do you have any idea? Do you remember? And she's like, I don't remember anything.
Like,
and
Dad
I was
tried
like,
to rob somebody.
and my
you
mom
got
blacked
thrown
out.
of
My
the club.
mom blacked out. So she doesn't even remember anything.
that's
So it's
amazing.
like,
She's
know,
like,
that's
you were
forgiveness.
great.
Yeah.
I like
But
a
you
good-
ruled that set.
I definitely
You had
had
a
a
good
No, I
set.
kicked
Love a
ass.
good
Yeah,
black.
I'm definitely gonna go back and, probably destroy it. We'll see.
Well, that's
Yeah.
smart. That's smart business, though. Like to kind of throw yourself out there in a foreign land. I mean, just to see what it's like.
Yeah, no, I definitely, just to see different audience and around
Yeah.
the world, to, see if it.
I think it's
it matters.
hilarious. Your mom got liquored
Yeah,
up with the
they'll
soccer
be like,
hooligans.
they'll be like, are you bringing your parents this time?
Right,
They'll be
they'll
like,
go,
they'll be
"Listen,
like, well,
no."
we kind of want you to.
You know how hard it is to get kicked out for being too drunk in England?
That's what
That
I'm
is
saying.
a hard thing to do.
Yeah, dude.
So, like,
they go
I have
hard.
to give it to my
It's
mom.
like it's like Miami. It's hard to get kicked
Hard to
out of
get
a
kicked
bar.
out.
We went. This was 2009. We went. It was the Ravens were in the playoff. We went down there, and it was after the game. We went to South Street, I think, or South Beach, and our friend Rob fell out of the bar into the street, and we're like, oh, the bouncers like walked out after him. We're like, dude, we're fucked, and
Yeah.
they picked him up and threw him back into the bar.
Oh, we're not
They're
done
like,
with
you
you.
good? Get back in.
That's-
Like, stop falling in the fucking street. We're like, okay, well,
That's hilarious. The
go
reverse
nuts.
throw in.
yeah.
The old throw in. Well, so I'm going to ask you this. You don't have to answer if you don't want, but along the lines of your parental approval, I noticed you mentioned your brother is a pastor.
Yeah.
What was the philosophy? What is your philosophy currently? And was it a religious upbringing at all that you kind of rallied
Talking about
against?
religion.
Brian likes to ask about
I grew up-
spirituality.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yeah. I don't judge at all. And then keep in mind, if you don't feel like answering, it's
No.
totally fine. I'm just curious. you know,
I grew up Seventh-day Adventist.
Is
but-
that right?
Yes.
Okay, so can I hover there for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so they go hard. I mean, they,
Yeah, usually.
Right,
Like
now-
most are vegetarian. They don't really try to. You're not supposed to do stuff. Sun goes
And do
down.
you use the King James Bible or is it the New World Translation?
Yeah, New World. Translation, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. But like I'm not religious. in
Understood.
any- like,
Understood.
You heard my set. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
That's my past.
And neither am I.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay, yeah.
I'm really not. I've read a lot over the years. I've searched a lot over the years, and I'm curious about it. And so, but the Seventh-day Adventist thing is interesting. They were before Jehovah's Witnesses,
Yeah.
and Jehovah's Witness was an offspring of that.
Yes.
Yeah, but very interesting. So is your brother
Seventh-day Adventist pastor.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they really are upset, probably, or
I know, no, they're super proud of him. If I become famous, they will love me too, I'm sure. Maybe not, I don't know.
You're right. Okay, I see where.
As long as they get free drinks,
I
maybe.
could tell the edge, but I now I see where it is. Well, okay, well, I'm so happy that. But anyway, that's interesting, and that's cool that you kind of made your own path.
I think that's probably helped me to be a little bit more well-rounded.
I guarantee
in a lot of ways. I grew up Adventist. I don't practice anymore. I don't have any issues with that. I don't really have any issues with any religion. That's nice. I'm not like I don't hate. I'm not a basher of anything. So,
but you're just out.
I'm just out. Right. I mean, I got my own thing going on. It's everybody has their own thing. I think that's kind of smart, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what
that's where I am. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's our philosophy.
It took you 50 years, almost 50 years. Right?
No, I think it took me a long time ago.
Right. Good. He figured it out a minute ago.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it's important to have faith.
Yeah. No, I do. I'm just not. I'm not religious. That's all.
Yeah, right.
I don't really think about it.
It's a lot of work, and I mean, when you're doing this,
you got to be committed.
Well, that's the thing.
It's a commitment.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what fascinates me the most. It's just one of the things that fascinates me is that there's many different versions of Christianity, and some, are hard. They, by the letter of the Bible, is the practice, and if you stray from that, you're not doing it right. But others interpret it and take it very loosely, and it's just a strange dichotomy that I find fascinating. I find spiritualism in drumming, believe it or not.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of history. You had mentioned that you drum a little bit. You dabble a little bit.
My brother is a drummer.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's a pastor, but he was on Penn State indoor drum line.
Oh shit! So he's like drum corps.
He was drum corps.
Yeah,
does
drum
that
corps.
church have like bands? Like is
my brother?
My brother at church.
My brother is freaking
at church.
At church. Heck yeah, man. He wouldn't do it any other way.
Right, so let's hover here real quick because let me just tell you this. As
he's like so into
he
it.
loves hovering.
You went to a great. Okay.
So you have to understand. So women were the original drummers. Like
in
the very first drummer. No, in history.
Oh, really?
The very first drummer was a woman, and pre-Christianity, the drummers were women. It's there's books about it.
I did not know that at all.
And
there's a book called When the Drummers Were Women.
There's a book called When the Drummers Were Women. Lane Redman, I believe is her name. She wrote it. She's a drummer. She learned from a Tibetan guy. She's been doing it for many years. She's very well respected.
Wow, that's so cool.
But the drum is the oldest instrument. Some people will go, your voice is. But I argue that the heartbeat before the voice, so the beat, the rhythm.
Okay.
Let's go. Anyway, I'm not going to go too long. But the point is, if you're into rhythm,
he could go long.
If you're into rhythm and drumming and spirituality, there is a there, especially for women. And it's worth looking into.
Oh, cool. I definitely will. That's it. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, my brother, I used to play, I think actually my mom just posted something not too long ago. I used to play in a band with my brother too when I was really young. We would, he'd play the drums and I'd play the bass. We'd do just what I needed. I would, play.
So how many instruments do you play?
Well, I don't know. This might be the same for you. Like you could just pick up some stuff, a little bit of everything, right? I can do.
I'm not a musician at all. I'm a sculptor and I'm an artist in a different way, but I can do all that.
But I bet you, if you tried, you could.
I have a bass guitar that I haven't picked up yet.
Yeah, he can do it.
It's something like where it's just amount of time you practice, truthfully. Like you can just do a little bit of everything.
So, I mean, you said bass. Obviously the guitar, drums. What about like horns and things like that?
I mean most wind instruments I've tried, but not. I mean, I could never do saxophone or anything like that. But trumpet maybe I could do a little. No.
Yeah.
And so, is your mother currently vlogging?
She's probably doing it right now as we speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and she makes a living doing that.
I don't know if she's making a living. She's retired. So
okay.
It's her life.
So it's like a icing on the cake.
But she doesn't really do. It's not music. It's gardening.
No, she sings. I mean,
Still.
some days just.
Is she famous?
She's
besides like the YouTube thing. Is she a famous singer?
She was a pretty famous singer. She was. She came from this state in India called Mizoram, and she was the first woman on the. It's like think the Jungle Book,
Right.
like that.
Right.
My mom
Damn.
is from the jungle,
Right.
and it's just like a whole community of tribes of different people in the jungle, and like they didn't become a state I think until the 70s or 80s in
Right.
India, and my mom was the first woman on the radio when they had radio.
Right.
So, Miss Daphne, how did your old man land that? Like, pardon the expression.
Well, my dad is a pretty funny guy. I don't know. He's a funny, smart guy. I think.
And he was. Okay,
They just
go
met.
ahead.
My mom was an aspiring singer, and she came from India. She was singing, came to America. She wanted to sing here, and then she just met my dad. They were both working at the same spot, and then they had me, and then it was just they lived their life. And my mom, there's like a big Christian community, Seventh Day Adventist community, where my mom would always sing at church.
So
I would sing with her often. And she had me singing. Man, got me singing like Perry Como, and when I was younger, like she probably has recordings of me when I was like 3 or 4, just like little
Nice,
stuff.
but that probably gave you a hell of a good training.
And so where did you grow up?
I grew up in
Frederick?
Gaithersburg.
Okay.
And then my parents moved to Frederick in my high school years.
But you're Maryland.
Yeah,
You're
which was
Maryland.
great because Frederick, during my teens, there was all this music happening. I don't know. It's just so strange now because bands were popping. Like there was, 20 emo bands, screamo bands,
I feel
hardcore
like it
bands.
should be cool now. I mean, there's breweries everywhere up there now,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they're part of like the brewery closing phenomenon that's happening right now.
I don't know. Apparently, Frederick's hopping. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff happening in Frederick. Come on over. I know. I don't know what the drive is like for you. If it's worth it.
Hour
That's
and
a
a
hour. It's not
half.
too bad.
And no, if we went to Frederick to party, we'd stay.
Yeah, but when I was in school, there was this thing called MFU where it was all day bands, like just kid bands, and that it was a lot of fun. I mean, to be in the atmosphere where you're just running around, child smoking cigarettes, and like you go in, you see a show. It could be a hardcore band, could be a metal band, it could be like an emo. It was just punk band. It was just so much fun to be in that atmosphere. I don't really see younger generations really experiencing that same thing anymore. Just going to like all day festival, Warped Tour. I mean, maybe, but it's not really the same anymore. So of course, like when we were talking earlier about like really feeling music and being expressive like that, I just don't. It's just like a different thing, a whole different thing. So that's why I got into comedy. It was a little bit safer.
Yeah, and you seem
music.
to get a little spiritual vibe out of music in
for
general.
sure, for sure.
Like that's where you scratch that itch, if you will. You all right, Roy Davis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm just
All of a sudden, you.
3 balls may have just popped in there.
I'll give you his number if you want to talk.
No,
shop,
no,
you
I
know?
don't
We'll get him
want
on
to
this
talk. I want to hear this.
show.
Yeah, I just want to hear the song.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
we'll
listen.
have
I
enough.
edit the show, so I'm going to listen to that song
Cool.
over and over. I'll be like, babe, come here. You have to listen
What do you
to
think
3
of this
balls
part?
again. Like, listen to this.
Okay, awesome.
And then even the Ballad of Karen. That's like
Yeah.
a Western.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I could picture that in like
The
like a
style
fistful
of the
dollars
music.
or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It was great.
Yeah,
Hey, is the information about dolphins and sea shit solid science? Is that
yeah. That's
okay? That's in my notes as well.
Dolphins, they love doing it. Orgies, man. That is just I love. I mean, have you guys ever had like an experience seeing dolphins or being close to dolphins?
Oh
Ever?
yeah, we were in
I've
Florida
swam with
for a
dolphins,
while.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I love animals.
cool.
I'm vegan,
Yeah.
and I became vegan in the last couple of years, and I've had much more. You were talking about spiritual. I think
Yeah.
also like when you're around animals, like and you're not trying to like control. It's not like
Sure.
a dog domesticated.
Right.
It's just like there's something that happens, that I love.
Pure nature.
Yeah,
or
pure nature.
something.
Those animals, I love it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. That's good.
I love animals.
do you have any animals?
I have dogs.
Okay.
But my growing up, my house was like a.
Dude, don't even fucking talk.
It was like a
This
farm
motherfucker-
for
listen,
animals.
It was-
but it
oh,
wasn't a
shit.
farm.
older
like-
brother
yeah.
is world famous for
snake breed.
Snake
Yeah, he's a
breeding.
snake
Oh,
breeder.
okay.
And
Wow. Well, I'm
it
kind of
was-
against
No,
the
but-
breeding part, but
But it's not that. Well, no.
But this is
he's known for raising rats now. So,
But this is the thing,
different.
is, like, if
no,
you
but
went
I'm not
downstairs-
talking about him. I'm talking my mother. Like I mean, we've had countless dogs. Dogs lives abnormally long lives at my parents' house,
Oh,
and it's
cool. That
because
means they're
of my
happy.
mother.
They're
Yeah,
happy,
yes.
yeah.
But
and your mother always took care of the kitties.
yeah, so there was a like when I was young, I guess in my 20s and teens and 20s, there was cats that lived all around my parents. They only have like an acre. It's not like they live on a farm in Carroll County, like right not far from here.
Nice.
And they lived in the groundhog hole with the groundhog during the winter.
Oh, okay.
So they'd come in and out. The groundhog was old. And my mother started putting homes all around the yard and feeding them. And
It's like Wild
Oh
Kingdom.
my gosh.
I mean,
It's
she
insane.
caught.
So they're just animals
well,
coming
she,
to
yeah,
you.
she caught the
Jesus.
kittens. I mean, she'd give the kittens away. People
Yeah.
take them.
And it's like
We'd keep some
Miyagi's
of the cats.
backyard back there. Like,
But then
she
it just
keeps
started.
great,
Yeah, it just
you know.
started.
Yeah,
Right.
it can,
Right.
okay. Yeah, see,
But
sometimes
it started
can-
getting crazy. But they they decided to eliminate the population. They were just like, "Fuck this. We don't want them any." No.
Yeah.
They no. Her and my brother started trapping them and having them spayed and neutered.
Yes, I was
and then
gonna say,
the
that's the right thing to
generation
do.
of this gigantic cat commune died off over the next several
Oh,
years.
okay.
And it was just wild. But
But it was
there's always,
impressive.
yeah.
She had, like
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
it's like her backyard.
It was
like,
a
She's a cat
science.
lady.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I like cat
Yeah,
ladies.
but Butch, he was my favorite cat.
Butch.
He was the cat that played fetch. Like you'd throw balls.
Oh,
and he'd,
wow,
like,
I
jump
love
up
that.
And like catch it and like throw it back to you and then land. Actually, I guess
If
it
it-
wasn't fetch. He played catch.
Right. Right. That's
Yeah, he didn't-
officially
yeah,
catch.
He was a cool
not
cat.
fetch.
But yeah, no, my mother's a animal person.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But I am too. Like I love my dogs. My dog Adrian thinks we're married.
Yeah. You guys are close.
That kills me.
Like
His wife
annoyingly close.
really loves it.
Closer to you than
Yeah,
the wife.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's weird.
His wife
Like,
really loves it.
If Amanda sits down on the couch next to me, like Adrian will just be like, and then get up and like
Attitude.
just get in between us and just be like,
I love that.
done.
I love
No,
that.
I
Good
do
for
too.
him. Good for him.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, Whoa, Davis, what else you got?
I think
The three balls. I asked
Oh.
about the dolphin.
Yes.
no, this was just another thing that Eric and Tommy talked about you on the show.
They did? What did they say? Good things,
wrote
of
a-
course.
Yeah, oh yeah, that,
Oh,
absolutely.
good.
yeah.
I'm only saying good things about
No,
them,
but they
so.
wrote a song about you called "Swipe Right."
Oh,
You know
yeah,
about
we
that
did
song?
write a
And
song.
you all have parts in that song.
We do have parts in a song that we did right, but we haven't performed it and we haven't
Oh,
practiced
you
it.
haven't done it yet.
Yeah, we haven't really done it yet.
So it's still kind of in the
Swipe
idea
right.
stages.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Swipe
Well, it's
Right.
pretty
It's about
much-
her going through Tinder.
Yeah, it's about me, of course, because that's the most important thing in my life right now.
Right.
Yeah, no, but they're supposed to, I think, from what I remember, they're like two different guys,
Right.
and they're both pieces of shit.
Oh my god! I cannot
It's just,
wait.
like,
I
too
can't wait.
easy
They
for
didn't
them.
tell us anything about the song other than it's a song.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're working on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can't wait
Working
to hear that. So
hilarious.
we'll have to have you. All three of you guys will come back and perform.
Yeah,
that
it
one,
would be
yeah.
great. I always, we do shows together all the time, and we all have busy lives, so it's like for us to even just come together is
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hard work. You guys
Yeah,
kind of
that's
get it.
cool.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so-
a hard thing to schedule all this shit.
Yeah.
Organize. And,
She was the first guest to give me the date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like March 11th. I was like, we can do it.
yeah. Look at me, look.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
that's awesome. So, Whoa, Davis, what else you got?
you can move on to your.
Okay, so the other thing that we're about here, other than philosophy and heavy shit, is movies. And I usually end the show by asking the guest if you had to pick a favorite 3 movies.
Yeah,
what
not
would
just
they
one. We need 3.
Yeah. Now,
Or
you know,
5.
yeah.
And then they can change
The
by the time the
caveat
conversation ends.
is that this is not life or death. Don't
No.
feel pressure. If you don't
Are you a
watch
movie
movies,
do you like
I
movies?
love movies.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I also
Wonderful.
hate movies too. Does that count
Sure.
too?
Oh no, I'd love to.
We can talk
I'd love
about
to hear your because
Because I hate a lot more movies than
I
I probably.
have.
Well-
I'm very easily entertained when it comes to movies, but I have one movie that I absolutely fucking hate.
I know what you're going to say, and it's so
we'll
funny.
get there. It's
Okay.
not about us,
I know, look,
but I'll get to the movie.
it's not about us.
Oh, now I
But
want to
it's-
know.
Yeah, you got to say
God,
it. Say it. It's
Random Hearts
Random
Oh,
Hearts
Hearts.
with Harrison Ford and
Ford.
who?
Okay.
Kristen Scott Thomas or
It
something.
makes him angry.
It's a movie
Why?
where
'Cause,
so both his wife and her husband get on a plane that crashes, and then you're like, oh my god, that's so tragic. And then the movie happens, and the whole movie you're just waiting for something
Yeah.
to happen, and nothing.
They fell in love, baby.
But very fucking slowly and annoyingly too slow. They were on a bench by like the Potomac often.
Listen, what it was.
Oh my god!
The poster.
But it's not because it's Harrison Ford's intensity, and sometimes he got intense, but then nothing just happened. Like there was no Air Force One. There was nothing.
The poster made him vibe that there was going to be murder or some
like
sort
something.
of
Like
twist.
yeah, like there was foul play. No, the plane just fucking crashed.
You were saying, what was my first movie? It might have been Air Force One.
Oh,
That might
that's
have
a
been
good
actually
first
my
movie
That's
to see in the
97.
theater.
Yeah, that might have been one of my first movies I saw in the movie theater.
Wow.
Not appropriate as a little kid to see.
No. Well,
But it was that was a great.
blackout drunk. It was Air Force One.
God, that's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
a great movie.
97.
Yeah.
That was in it. We were
Yeah.
in it, baby. Okay,
right,
so back to you.
I don't know.
The
This is
show's
hard.
about
This
you.
is very, very hard.
It could be a comfort movie.
And if
it
you
could
got
be the
five,
movie you've
it's
seen the
fine.
most, even.
Deep Cut, like one of my favorite. I guess it's more like an indie film. The Croupier.
Okay, explain. I
I've
don't
never
know
heard
It's a
that.
Clive
one.
Owen. You guys
Okay,
know?
I know
yeah.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen. It's just inner monologue, most of it, and he's Croupier is a blackjack dealer. So it's going through his his life at the time.
Oh,
And,
wow.
it kind of leaves you at the end thinking that his girlfriend is dead. So I kind of like that part. But it's it's a very interesting kind of look at people's ideas of addiction, especially to gambling.
I love
he just
that.
he's just talking to himself, looking. It's kind of like a Fight Club sort of before Fight Club started.
Right.
He's looking at people, watching them.
It's an
analyzing.
observational
And I
type
kind of like
narrative.
that too.
Really? Do you
What
know how to
year
spell
was-
that? Wait,
C-
because I tried to.
Okay.
I put Crupeay.
No,
It's,
I say.
Croupier.
Let me say it. Crupier.
yes, you got it.
What is it?
That is.
Crupier.
Yes,
Croupier. I don't know why I'm awful at school, but for some reason
I sounded
spelling
it out.
is
Normally
okay
I'm good
with
at
me.
spelling.
It's like French, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
You know, right?
It's a interesting kind of film. I don't know if there's a lot of people that like it, but there's a couple fun. Like he has like a best friend who's a piece of shit, and he just gets drunk. He's like, I want to fuck the whole world over, and I feel like that's such like a thing for people. Like, when you're going through something,
Sure.
they're like. So there's just so many moments. And what was it? I was watching. Orange is the New Black, and Chapman, one of the first big lines that memorable lines is a line that she takes from the Croupier. It's called "Hang on tightly, let go lightly," which I think is kind of like a cool concept. Like
cool.
you hang on to stuff, but then also just learn how to let it go. too,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a heavy philosophy.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I don't know. It's a
Yes.
good film. I like
So,
it.
so what year is Croupier? Is that like?
I don't know, 80s probably.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
old
it's an
school.
old-
it's an old
okay.
film, yeah,
so
yeah.
it was way independent. All right. Yeah, well, that's a good deep cut. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
continue. I
A lot of
did.
people
This
don't
is
expect
just
me-
motivating me.
Yeah.
She's motivating me to get a list together. Like,
Yeah.
I got to post this list.
You should.
Of what we need to wear, because
No, all the movies that people have said.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
there's a
that's a
lot of
good one.
movies because I want to watch a lot of them. I mean, a lot of them have been repeat. Like people have liked the same things, but there's like movie like that. Like when you stump him, that's pretty good. You can
Yeah,
stump,
Yeah,
right.
okay,
You
okay.
can stump me, but stumping him
Yeah,
on
yeah,
a
I've
movie
never
is
heard
pretty
it.
hard to do.
Yeah.
Like on
Well,
our
it's also probably a British film, so
Yeah.
It's a big world. Yeah, I don't,
we did a surprise Jaws. So this is relevant to the story. So we had a guest. It was around the end of June. We had a guest coming in. He had to cancel. So we're like, no big deal, but we were already here. So Brian's like, let's just do a Jaws episode because we kind of do movie episodes.
Sanity Cinema.
We've
Yeah,
only
yeah.
done 2 of them so far. We've done Goodfellas with his son and Jaws.
good one.
But we released Jaws on the 4th of July, and it was awesome. But, like, no preparation. He named all 18 deaths in all 4 Jaws
That's
movies.
crazy.
In order
You are-
by character name.
Oh my god.
Without Google.
That is too much. Wow.
It's Loserville, but it's one of those things that
that's cool.
My ism is
Yeah, is that?
I have
Everybody
some
has
It's whatever that is.
strange, weird thing with film where I can recall the weirdest things about movies,
That's
and
cool.
especially
That's really
80s, 90s.
It took us a little while. It took us I don't know why I keep saying took us. It took us about, I don't know, a half hour to get through. I don't know how long it took to get through it, but he named them all, and it was
No,
great.
I didn't take a
That's
half
wild.
hour. It was pretty quick. I got hung up on Shelby Overman.
You still think you were wrong.
You
You
still
still
think
think.
No, and I'll tell you what. When I left that night, I
he
missed
called
two.
me on the
I
way home,
missed
and he's
two.
like, I missed two, but you didn't.
I did, and I don't know why, but I did. I remember, like,
No, 'cause there's
according
only 18.
to Google,
You had
I
18.
know, but I'm telling you, Google's wrong.
He's saying my information was wrong.
Yeah, Google's wrong. I didn't get all of them.
He
But he's
knows.
so
Google's wrong.
okay.
Listen,
Apparently,
I love that.
apparently there were
Weirder things that-
20. He named 18 in order by character name.
right. I mean, I'm saying, I'm
And
just
not
throwing
even
it
that,
out.
like that,
That
knowing
is
the
a
character
lot.
name, knowing the scene that happened in
18.
all, and I'm talking like one in Jaws 4.
Jaws
like,
4
Jaws
sucked,
like two,
right.
but
Nobody
only
gives a
like the
shit about
helicopter
Jaws
pilot
4.
is one of the deaths in there.
Right,
Like,
right.
But he was credited as helicopter pilot.
Right.
Okay, he was credited then.
Yeah.
That counts. Yeah.
No, you know what it was is that I said one.
It was from Jaws 3.
No, I thought that there was
Jaws
in
3.
Jaws 4 there was a director's cut, and in the
Right.
director's cut, Mario
what it
Van
is.
Oh my
Peebles,
gosh.
Mario Van
Wow.
Peebles dies.
No, in the book he dies.
or whatever. There's a
Wait a minute, is Jaws 4 a book? I don't think it is.
no. I don't know anything about the book of Jaws 4.
Just the commentary.
But I'm talking about, But anyway, that's what the big hang up was. Is if we're counting director's
Right.
cuts, it's not right.
Okay, so
Back to you.
Croupier,
okay.
that's one.
Okay. Number 2, I'll go silly. Euro trip.
Oh my God,
It is such a like just
male motherfucker like
so
that.
good. Has such great. Scotty doesn't
Oh
know.
my
like,
God, Scotty doesn't know.
It's. I mean. What can you not love about Fred Armisen as the, perverted dude on the train? It's everything, right?
So let me ask you this. Pardon me. Do you know that the young gal?
Yeah, I know. She just passed
died.
it. I know.
Oh, Michelle
I know.
Trachtenberg.
Yeah,
Yes,
Trachtenberg.
she was so, like that's the first time I remember because I don't know. Like we're older. Like
I only know
apparently
who she is
she's
'cause
a
I know who
Disney,
she is 'cause of Gossip.
Yeah,
Disney
yeah,
kid
yeah.
or
She
something
was
like
in
that.
there.
or-
Gossip Girl.
You see, I don't know that. I don't know that.
She was Georgina. She was.
I didn't even know that.
She was
Okay.
Georgina.
Whoa knows Gossip Girl. Trust me.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
But the fact is that Eurotrip. What a
Yeah,
great movie.
it is
so
a good movie.
you've
It's a
never
fun
seen
movie.
it. I can tell by the
No,
look
I've
of-
seen Eurotrip. It's been a long time.
So
Like
do
it's
you-
been a long time.
Do you recall Scotty doesn't know what
No,
she's
no,
talking
no.
about?
Yeah.
So right in the beginning of the movie,
Tom Green's in there, right?
No,
No.
that is Road Trip.
I'm thinking. So no, I may not have seen Eurotrip.
Yeah.
then.
Euro trip.
So
I've
listen,
seen Road Trip.
at the very beginning of this movie, it's like a college teen, banging movie. It's whatever. And not a big cast or anything like that. The very beginning of the movie, the main guy goes to a kegger at a college party, and the band, it's a rocking party. The band's up there rocking, and all of a sudden, the band singer turns around, and it's Matt Damon with a shaved head.
Right.
And he's like, "What's up, y'all?" And he starts singing this fucking song, Scotty Doesn't Know. And he's singing it about the guy, the main guy, and his girlfriend that's with him. And he's like, I mean,
Scotty doesn't know me and whatever.
right? He's like, we had sex
Fiona in
on
the
Scott's
backyard. It's so
birthday.
good. It's such a-
Scotty doesn't know. And it's like Matt Damon.
Yeah, no, I have
Dude,
not seen
it is gold.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Gold.
It's great.
I haven't seen
There's a
it.
little bit of incest in it. You
Right.
got Fred Armisen's in it. Who
Right.
else? It's just
He's talented as shit,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
He's
He's
a great drummer.
Oh,
Fred
yeah,
Armisen.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so yeah.
He's
That's a
Good
fun one.
pull. Great pulls from Daphne.
And I would say, okay, so we're moving on from Euro
Yeah,
Trip.
coming
okay,
in hot here at
Last
the
one I
end.
would say, and this is just because I just saw it not too long ago, The Shining.
Yeah, that's
That-
a good one.
That it's just I don't know what it is. It always used to be in the background. I would watch bits and pieces of it, but I think recently I watched, I don't know, for whatever reason I watched it all the way through, and I was like, dang, that is
That
such
movie
a
scared me more than
good movie.
more than The Exorcist when I was a kid.
Yeah,
the clarify,
Shining.
right?
because
Like
it's scary. Like madness is scary.
Yes, it was just fucking creepy.
that movie when it starts, it's like a blanket of just kind of dread.
Yeah.
It like suppresses you
Yeah.
with that music at the beginning and the filmmaking itself. Are you a Stanley Kubrick person?
Yeah, I like some of his stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, Jack Nicholson's so good.
Yeah.
And just like the idea that someone is becoming mad and you can see them unraveling. I don't know, maybe comedy is like made me twisted in that way, but I just love
It's
seeing
fascinating.
that. It's just like
Yeah,
and
it's
then there's
fascinating.
all
Like,
the
you know?
like about the end when he's in the picture at the end.
Right.
What's your? I mean, they're not really theories. I guess it's like are. Like
the
it's like the
theory
hotel
is-
absorbed.
Right.
his
The caretaker
soul.
has always been there.
Yeah.
And throughout time, the caretaker has been him,
Yeah.
apparently, But do you know, are you aware of the room 347?
well, yeah, I don't know what the number is.
Okay, 314, I think room 314. It's a documentary. The room that the old lady in the bathtub is in.
Uh-huh.
Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Scene?
That was worse than Zelda.
It was devastating.
That
Devastating.
scene alone probably caused me nightmares and made me the
That's
way I
great,
am.
though.
Oh,
Daphne,
yeah.
because you got to understand, we are as young boys
Yeah,
are watching
watching that,
this
of
scene,
course.
and
And
there's
I had
this
a brother who was 8 years older than me who
Oh,
would just
yeah.
like
Cruel. He's a
dress
very
up
cruel
as
guy.
Jason
Yeah.
Voorhees and like be outside the bathroom window when I'm like showering when I'm like
shit.
eight,
This is the snake
8
breed.
years old.
Yeah.
Ralph went hard.
Yeah, yeah.
But that being said, as a young man watching that scene, and then to turn from that nice looking lady to that old lady,
Yeah,
just like that
yeah,
was
yeah,
dreadful.
yeah.
Anyway, the point of this is that room number is room 314. Look that up to make sure. It's a documentary, and they made a documentary about it
Yeah.
because there's so many wild theories about The Shining, and Kubrick was so thick, but this documentary is
Damn, my phone
at
is listening.
least
I just typed
fascinating.
room into Google and the first thing is room number in The Shining.
what is
I just typed the word room.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
So what is it?
Oh.
Room 3.
237. The room number in The Shining is 237, which was changed from 217 in the book.
Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
Okay, so
Why? I
the
don't
documentary is called Room 237.
Okay.
But there is a lot of shit, baby.
That goes,
like if
yeah.
you look into it, there's a lot of stuff in the background that has to do with NASA. That has to. I mean,
Wait, are you talking about movie related or like real life related?
it's like it's conspiracy theory type shit.
Yeah,
but
just
Or are you
squeezed in
talking
there.
about the hotel that it was filmed in? Because that place isn't really haunted, right?
no, that place is in Colorado.
Yeah.
Cool place.
Yeah.
This is like intention of Kubrick. Like there's
like-
patterns in, like, for example, like they break down the blueprint of the hotel and like the pattern that the kid rides his bike around. He never leaves. It's like the same pattern.
Sure.
And then like when Jack's in the room talking to the guy at the beginning about the history.
Scatman.
No,
Yeah.
not that dude. He's in it. Scatman's it. But when he's talking to the guy when he's first getting the job, there's just a lot of heavy shit.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, especially if you're a Shining fan. It's not, what do you call it, condoned by the Kubrick people, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But it's interesting nonetheless, you know. But man, great pull. I love The
good.
Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just like the funny. I mean, I think that's just funny.
She's like, it's the
I like the
funniest
funny
movie
parts
of all
of it,
time.
like because Jack Nicholson, he's kind of a funny guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Yes.
to be that kind of like he has to be actually crazy, right? So to just put that so much into a character, and then Kubrick, of course, is just. I mean, I don't think anything is made anything like that anymore.
Yeah.
So
No.
I mean, that's probably.
Have you ever seen? There's like a clip you can find of him getting prepped for when he's smashing the door
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the room. Like, and Stanley Kubrick's just like kind of talking to him, and Jack Nicholson's just like running around, like he's got the axe
Yeah, yeah.
and he's just going.
Yep.
And Shelley Duvall's just kind of looking at him and just like
Such
walks
a
into the
sweet, like,
bathroom.
you know, just
yeah.
like
Right.
But he's like going nuts, getting into character. like,
Kubrick's
just
daughter
going
made a
fucking
documentary
crazy.
about the making of The Shining
Oh,
too.
okay,
That
okay.
I recommend that too because it's fascinating. But that's where all that footage
Yeah,
comes
yeah, yeah.
from.
It's
good stuff.
that it's interesting because you can tell he's like just getting he's looks crazy
Yeah,
just
yeah.
in the behind the scenes scene.
And
from
the
that.
Shelley Duvall angle, by all reports, by her, and I think in the documentary it's mentioned. I think she had a rough time.
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
set.
she
Yeah,
needed
of
like
course.
heavy therapy. After
Yeah,
that
like
movie.
I think
Yeah, of
Kubrick
course.
was
I mean, can
nasty
you
to her.
imagine like
Yeah.
that? It's all the psychological.
Yeah, it's,
Clusterfuck.
I know you have to be in that position.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
why I
so
think that's funny. I
crazy.
don't know.
Yeah, The Shining. Man.
I
What
mean,
a
it
great,
is.
great.
It's
flick,
better.
man.
It's good to find humor.
Would
in
that ever happen to you guys? Would you
horrifying fucking
ever? Would you
movie.
ever be
Holy
pushed to
shit!
that level? You ever think like that?
Let me tell you
I
something.
could just right now.
If I was by myself in a hotel in the middle of nowhere, if I had a drum set, It would be fine.
Yeah, you'd be good.
I would be. Now, I might go mad.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be fine.
Just staying in a hotel like that by yourself, was that the question?
Well, like, what would it take to get you to slowly go mad, to want to murder your whole family? What would it take?
Yeah, let me think about this here.
Spirits, or you're like, nah, I'd be good. I would never do that. Right?
I said, let me list out what would make me kill the whole family.
Last question, guys.
I said, this is funny.
I don't know.
Look, let me tell you this. Let me tell you the story. A guy I work with, all right, his name's Eddie. Well, he knows who he is. A guy I worked with for many years, older guy, batshit crazy. And we're always like, hey, we give him situational, questions because you never know what this guy would do. So we're like, hey, man, what would you do if you found out your wife was cheating on you? And he's like, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd take my son and I go, hey, watch this. Bam! And I'd blow his brains out all over the wall. He goes, and then I'd look right at my wife. I go, you see what you did? Bam! And then shoot myself. And we're all standing there. We're all going,
wow.
We're all like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And he's like,
why do you keep asking him the situational questions?
Well, that was the last time. He moved to a different. He moved to a different. He's with animal control now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That kind of makes sense. That tracks. Yeah, that makes sense.
He's my man.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
But can you imagine like that kind of humor that quick?
Yeah.
Like it's
pretty dark. It's pretty dark.
Oh my God! Like we were
that's
all
a thought that's gone through.
Oh my God! Like,
yeah, I think that's probably healthy that you have some kind of darkness in you, that you kind of like,
My wife doesn't think about killing the family, but she has a plan for if we all suddenly died. Like she has it mapped out. She has a plan. I'm like, she asked me. She's like, don't you? I'm like, no. I mean, I figured I'd kind of wing it. I mean, I'd hope you leave like information so I could find like accounts and shit like that.
Oh, what a man you are.
She's like, I'm going to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, I'm horrible.
She's like a whole list.
Yeah. I'm like, but that's morbid. She's like, I mean, I'm just like, if something happens, like, what am I gonna do?
Right,
like,
to her, she's like, it's just practical.
She has an actual plan.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do not.
Well, there is a school of thought where that's good business. I mean, why wouldn't you think ahead? Some would say, why wouldn't she think like that? I mean, what happens? Like, what is she going to do? You got to have a plan.
You don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't ask what it was.
Don't dwell on it. It's, I'm sure you'll be fine, baby.
So where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Daphne London Comedy on Instagram, Daphne Comedy on TikTok, Daphne London Comedy on YouTube. I have a link tree on my bio and my Instagram, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool. And you'll be able to find
all my fun
on
stuff
our directory too.
Yes, and of course,
because I'll add that.
Yes.
Nobody does.
Because artists are particular people. We're always like, hey, put your stuff on. They're like, no problem. And then they don't.
Yeah,
and we're like,
everybody's busy. My wife's like, you're dealing with yourself, you know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
right, because he doesn't,
I don't do
he's an artist, so
Yeah.
he knows. We don't take it personally.
everybody's busy, man.
Yeah,
so
right,
I'll do it.
But that's the thing is like, it is easy. So for those listening, it's an easy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These artists are just kind of lazy. Like,
You can go. So you go to sanitylounge.com, and at the top it says You're Baltimore, and you're like, you know what? I wonder if there's any comedians on here, and you click it, and there you have Daphne London.
Awesome! I love that. Thank you.
And you'll be like, well, there's a comedian.
Right. And all the information.
No,
Love
it's
it,
fun.
love it.
Well, look, this has been a real pleasure. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate meeting you. I hope, you spread the word about us as we will about you. And
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I'm great at spreading, I will tell you.
nice.
But thank you guys so much for
Yeah, it
having
was
me. I had a
awesome.
wonderful time. You guys are
Awesome.
great guys, and
Awesome.
Sanity Lounge is awesome. So
Yes,
you guys rock.
and we will be seeing you soon.
Stuff.
Yes.
All right. Stay sane, Baltimore.
Awesome.
Bye. Welcome, everyone, to Sanity Lounge. I'm Daphne London. I am your female musical stand-up of the evening, and I like singing this song sometimes after a first date.
I wanna see your butthole later tonight. Can we go and have a butthole fight? Can you tell me that I'm your girl forever? 'Cause I'll put my tongue on your black leather. I wanna see your butthole. I wanna see your butthole. Thank you guys. That's my butthole song. I love doing comedy because I think the best part is, just like musicians, most musicians, you realize real quick that you're probably never going to make it. And I wrote this song, and it's called Never Gonna Make It. Broke up with my boyfriend 20 times this year. Drove into a fence, I was drunk on beer. I'm never gonna make it, no way I can. My mom said, nobody wants to hear a musical comedian. Drove 5 hours for a show. Bombed on stage, got a little dough. I'm never gonna make it to 40, 'cause now I'm an alcoholic. No way I can. Just living my life as a musical comedian. Oh, I'm never gonna make it. There's no way I can. I guess I'll only make it on OnlyFans. Thank you. I'm just gonna say thank you after every song. Yeah, comedy is really fun because comedy is, it's very therapeutic, and it's a really important thing for the society of the world to have laughter. And what's really interesting is I've been doing comedy for so long. I realized that, there's not a lot of females in comedy. There's not a lot of female musical comedians. And the best part is there's a lot of guys. And the best part about guys, I would say, is that they have dicks. So I wrote this song. It's called If I Had a Dick. If I had a dick, I'd be funny. If I had a dick, I'd make more money. If I had a dick, what would I do? I'd try to put my dick in you. That's true. That's what guys do. Put my dick in you. If I had a dick, I'd have fun. If I had a dick, I'd try to put my dick in everyone, especially your mom. If I had a dick, I would pee in any direction I wanted to pee. That's right, like a personal fire hose for me. If I had a dick, I get it stuck inside your mom's when we fucked. If I had a dick, if I had a dick, if I had a dick, what would I do with it? If I had a dick, I'd be funny. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, what would I do if I had a dick? Probably a lot with it. Probably a lot. But I bet that's what all girls say. Okay, what am I? Oh, yeah, let's go to some fun stuff. Like I said, I'm a female musical stand-up, and I like my job. My job is I get to do this, and I think there's other jobs that I really appreciate too. Comedians, and of course, there are all types of jobs, and this next song was like a little fun song I wrote about different jobs out there, different people with different jobs. She was a daytime stripper, she was a daytime stripper, she was a daytime stripper, oh yeah, she was. She took her clothes off during the day. If you asked your clients what she looks like, they'd say, she was a daytime stripper, oh yeah, she was. He was a comedian, he was a comedian, he was a comedian, oh yeah, he was. He thought that his jokes were funny, but no one gave him any money. He was a comedian, oh yeah, he was. He was a CEO, he was a CEO, he was a CEO, oh yeah, he was. But he denied too many sick, now we're all dreaming of Luigi's dick. He was a CEO, oh yeah, he was. He was a comedian, oh yeah, he was. She was a daytime stripper, yeah, she was. That's a little fun one. I'm sure there's other jobs, but I don't know what they are. Strippers, comedians, and, CEOs, which is not really a job. Oh, yeah, dudes. Let's go back to dudes. Dudes are fun. I hang out with a lot of dudes. Dudes are the best. And, I always try to write songs for the people that I appreciate. And so I wrote this little song for dudes. Fuck you, dudes, I don't like you, yeah. Fuck you, dudes, I don't like you. I don't like your hair, your t-shirt, or your stares. Fuck your dad's dad, I don't care. Are you telling me the world is still run by men, and the patriarchy, it still exists and it's never gonna end? Are you seriously telling me all this time we spent that we still don't have a motherfucking female president? That's why we should fuck you, dudes. That's right, fuck all the dudes. Fuck you, dudes, but not the gay dudes. No way. So sorry, cool dudes, for being so rude. But can we get our chance to fuck the world up too? Awesome. All about fucking dudes. Oh, you know what? I'll do an old one. This was one of the first songs I ever wrote, one of my first comedy songs I ever wrote. And I don't really remember how this happened. I just thought this was a funny thing. I was watching a lot of Blue Planet at the time, which is very cool to watch if you get high a lot. And I was learning about, sea animals and sea creatures. And so I learned something interesting about dolphins, and I wrote this song. Oh, I didn't know that dolphins could have orgies. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, I didn't know that dolphins could have orgies. Yeah, I didn't know that dolphins love to swing. I started reading about other sea creatures and reading about how they get it on. I read about this one fish, it's called the big black dick fish. Oh, I read it's really thick and pretty long. Yeah, big black dick fish, it's a quality fish, not to be confused with the mediocre white dick fish, but they both are very popular among Asians. Big black dick fish, also very popular among larger white women. Oh, I didn't know that dolphins could have orgies. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, I didn't know that dolphins could have orgies. Yeah, I didn't know that dolphins were fucking sluts. Thank you. Yep, that's all about dolphins, guys. Okay, we're getting there. We're going to do a few more here. Yeah. I have fun songs that I like to sing in front of certain crowds. What's great about comedy is that you get to sing certain things in front of certain people. And let's see. This next song, this was probably an earlier song I wrote. And this was just, I don't know if I did this out of anger, but I definitely did this song because I thought there was a space that was needed for this. This song is really dedicated to the white woman out there. This song is called The Ballad of Karen. I look at you dead in the eyes with confidence and disdain. I need to speak to your manager. Is my middle and last name? If I feel a little threatened by the color of your skin, you can call me Karen. She lurks in most Targets and in the Starbucks line. You could find her after work getting drunk off of white wine. I don't need to even ask. See, I have a medical condition. It's called Karen. I'm so Karen. See, I married rich. Now I'm a bitch. It's probably because of white privilege. That's okay. You can call me Karen or Becky. You like that one? Yeah. That's a fun one. My Karen song. It's a lovely song. Oh yeah, let's do some lovely stuff. Let's sing about some love right now. Oh, I'll do a fun little song about my dating life. This is a fun one that I do on occasion. I don't know. I'm not lucky in love. Some people are lucky in love. I'm not. And that's okay, because what I get out of it are these songs. And so this song's about a date with a guy I met off of Tinder. I went out on a date with this nice guy. We got coffee and it was pretty nice. Then he told me he had polyorchidism. I asked him, what is that? He said, well, you know how normally guys have 2 balls. I have an extra ball with them. And I said, that's too many balls. You got 3 testicles. Ew, that's 1 too many balls. Ooh, get 1 removed, 'cause that's too many balls. And yes, he comes a lot. Thank you. Yeah. 3 balls. Yeah, 3 balls, yeah. He's a nice guy. Mostly nuts, though. Mostly nuts. Yeah. I don't know why I'm so unlucky in love. I mean, he was a nice guy. I probably should have sticked with him. I think I love love because I grew up and my mom was really into love, like romance, and like she read romance novels and she watched like Romeo and Juliet all the time, and so it kind of like stuck with me. So I think about love a lot, even though I don't really have much in my life from other people. I mean, I do, but not really. I mean, you gotta love yourself first. So I think love is very important. So I wrote a little love song to this guy that I was trying to pursue. And this was my little love song I wrote for him. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna kiss your cheek. I wanna take all of your bones after you die and make a necklace out of your teeth. I wanna spend my days with you. I like to spend my nights. I'd like to take you down to Chinatown to see illegal cockfights. And these are the kind of cockfights where it's just a bunch of naked dudes using their dicks as swords. And I'll love you forever if you want me to. I'll even stalk you when you don't want me to. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna break your feet, both of them. I wanna break both of your feet because I don't want you to ever run away from me. And I'll love you forever if you want me to. Break the restraining order just to say I love you. Written in my own blood on your garage door. I think I love him so much. It's a pretty love song, right? Everybody needs one. Anyways, yeah, he would never go for me. Actually, you know what? Funny story. I just got rejected before I came here from a guy. That was great. I have a new song. I like singing about moms. I don't know why. I always like singing about moms. So I have a newer song. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we're going to try it. Just double check. Do I look okay? Yeah, you're still looking good? Look good. Where is your mom tonight? And who is holding her tight? I know that it's not me. Is she at home being freaky with your dad? Or maybe it's not your dad. Maybe it's your stepdad. And you're lucky you have your stepdad because he really likes getting freaky with your mom. And she needs it. Because she's been alone for a long time and, you know, it makes things less awkward. Even though you know that your mom is getting freaky with that new guy, it's okay. Where is your mom tonight? And who is holding her tight? I know that it's not me. Is she at home being freaky by herself? Because, you know, ladies, they be doing that now. They be freaky with themselves. And that's okay too, because we have the technology now. A lot of good stuff on the market now for older ladies. Very discreet. Where is your mom tonight? And who is holding her tight? I wish that it was me. I'm asking, can I fuck your mommy? Yeah, I wrote that song just because I thought the line, can I fuck your mommy, was funny. So that's a whole song based off of one line. Okay. Yeah, I have fun stuff like that. Oh, well, let's do Shits on Me. You want to hear one of my first songs I wrote in comedy? I like reusing the same chord progressions too. just makes it easier, life easier. This is probably the second song I wrote in comedy, and I still think it's a banger to this day. This is a short one. Everybody, everybody, everybody that I meet shits on me. They all shit on me. And everybody, everybody, everybody that I meet shits on me. They all shit on me. That's because I'm a porn star, and the kind of porn that I do is a kind where you get guys to shit on you. It's true. That's the kind of jobs that I choose to take, are the ones where the guys shit all over my face. And everybody, everybody, everybody that I meet shits on me. Backwards bukkake, they all shit on me. That's my shits on me song. Okay. Okay, where am I going with this? I'm having a good time now. I kicked in. I'm having a good time. Like I said, I'm not very lucky in love. And that does present a problem sometimes. And I think the solution is that I should never date a guy. And that's the name of the song. I should never date a guy. Never date a guy who can't look you directly in the eyes. It probably means he's a little autistic. And never date a guy who calls himself a DJ, no way. And never date a guy who wears shirts with anime and wrestling shirts they count too. Never date a guy who gets dropped off by his mom. And never date a guy who needs to call you his ex's name when he comes. My name's not Michelle. Oh, what the hell? I'll date a girl instead, yeah, that's what I said. They give better head, 'cause they've been oppressed by the patriarchy, and they know how to give head really well. And women, they let you play with these things on their chest called breasts, and they're much funner to play with than balls. Breasts are better than balls. Okay. So I'm single. Okay. One more. We'll do one more, right? One more? Okay, we'll do one more. And this is a fun one. This is what I always end with at all my shows, because I always want to bring it back together, have a theme, right? And, I love love, so I sing about love a lot. Probably I should be singing more positive things about love, but this is a little love song that I wrote. All about things that do love each other. We should be giving each other more love. So here we go, little love song. What does a tree say to the apple? It says, I love you. What does the moon say to the stars? It says, I love you. And what does a bee say to the flower? It says, I love you. What does my dad say to mom every hour? He says, I love you. Oh, isn't that sweet? Very sweet. Let's just keep all that love right here close to us. And what does my mom say to her trainer, Steve? She says, I love you, Steve. What do sluts say to Plan B? They say, I love you. And what does Whole Foods say to white women? They say, I love you. And what do conspiracy theorists say to Joe Rogan? They say, I love you. And what do 13-year-old boys say to Pornhub? They say, I love you. And what do 45-year-old men also say to Pornhub? They say, I love you, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. So that's my love. I'm sharing my love with you. Okay.
Thanks for listening, Baltimore. You can find us at www.sanitylounge.com or on Instagram at sanity.lounge.
Keep listening and subscribe.
Stay sane, Baltimore.